It's 10 o'clock kickoff. Does that take a bit of, that takes some getting used to, doesn't it?
Well, we'll be here all night making excuses. They were playing darts last night. Before the game, they were a great bunch of players and making more excuses. They didn't show their quality. Simple as that. But it happens. We're not here to crucify the players. No, they should have done better. They move on to the next game. Relax a second. They'll move on to the next game and they'll fine. Yeah. But need to do better. Tonight wasn't good enough.
Every young lad's dream is to play for the country, and then to play in the World Cup for your country is just the pinnacle of anyone's career. So there was a lot of young lads in the squad this time, and I'm sure it was one of the greatest experiences of their lives. It certainly was for me.
The Republic of Ireland soccer squad left Dublin Airport this morning to begin preparations for the World Cup finals. The players will be based on the tropical island of Saipan before travelling to Japan next week.
Nigeria may have gate-crashed the farewell party, but Mick McCarthy and his boys were still in upbeat mood early today as they began their long and arduous journey to the Far East.
Not looking forward to the trip. It's going to be a long day for us, but I'm sure once we get over there we'll get set for the first match, and we're all looking forward to it.
Quick word about last night. Of all the friendlies, it was probably the one that the team learnt the most from, maybe.
Yeah, I think we played reasonably well, but gave away 2 bad goals. I was at fault for the second goal, and but it's better not to give away the goals and learn from it than to give it away in the first match. So we've learned a lot from last night. But it would have been nice to get a good result before we left. The fans again gave us a great send-off. But hopefully we can make it up to them, in the proper game.
After a marathon 3-flight trip, McCarthy and his players are due to arrive at their base on the holiday island of Saipan early tomorrow morning. Eamon Falvey, RTÉ News, Dublin Airport.
He was on his Todd, and that seemed a bit strange to me. I went over and I chatted.
Good pictures of me and him always walking, and he's just brilliant, to be fair. He's always got this serious face. I said, smile, we're going to the World Cup, mate.
Home for the next 10 days would be Saipan, a small tropical island in the Pacific Ocean, a place with a troubled past. It was from an airstrip here that the Enola Gay took off to drop the atomic bomb on Hiroshima in World War II. It was a long way to go for such poor omens.
I think the logic was that the team would have a few days rest and recreation in a place where nobody cared much about football. They'd get used to heat and they'd bond a bit, and then they'd move on to the World Cup.
24 hours in paradise for Roy Keane. Returning from training today, he refused to comment on his decision to quit the World Cup the night before. His announcement followed an argument with goalkeeping coach Packy Bonner at this training ground.
He's been having concerns about his knee and some personal problems which are personal to him, and he has to go home. So on that, it was a bit of a shock, to say the least, when I come off training. I didn't want him to go home, and tried to talk him out, but there was no way I was going to do it.
How big a part did this bust up a training play in his decision, do you think?
Well, as we said, as Packy Bonner said this morning, lad said, he has bigger arguments with his son over his homework. That is a day-to-day routine stuff, I mean, I've had some really rough and tumble in training. It's all forgotten me. That wasn't anything to do with it at all.
Keane cited undisclosed personal problems and a knee injury as his reasons for wanting to leave. Hours later, he had a change of heart.
He's training this morning, he's fine, he's in with the lads, they're all gathered round him, they're all together. Maybe these things are sent to try us, and what often happens with the Irish team, we strengthen our resolve and we'll be stronger for it.
Having threatened to leave the squad a couple of days ago, he was persuaded to change his mind by, among others, his Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson. This morning, as he declared his intention to retire from international football at the end of the World Cup, he lashed out at the Republic of Ireland's pre-tournament preparation, describing their training pitch in Saipan as shocking.
A lot of people say, well, it's typical of Roy, and Roy should really shut up, but I can't, especially if I'm captain of the team. We come over here, we travel halfway across the world, and the training pitch is a disgrace. And somebody's got to hold a hand up and say, it's like training on a car park. Bloody rock hard. You've had 1 or 2 injuries already, and I expect a few more.